What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and as you'll probably be able to tell, not feeling so well. Uh, Runny nose, head hurts, coughing a lot, so I apologize if that in any way affects this review. But let's talk about this game because, frankly, it's disappointing, but also very preventable, and I think that's what made it even more disappointing. It mainly just because, you look at it, and we shouldn't be losing this game. We should not be losing to a team that not only has been terrible recently, they have not scored a goal before this game, and I think 655 minutes, I think, was the time, and we conceded two against them. That's not good enough. So let's talk about everything involving this game. First of all, talk about the referees. I know I talk about them a lot, but tonight they were very one-sided once again. The home team gets the best calls in this league. That's what it feels like, at least. And, I realize I complain about the referees even when we're at home as well. But just watching this game, so many moments where it's just like, come on, dude. Like, the yellow cards, Laurentowicz is not even close to being a yellow. He got the ball cleanly, easily should have been just no foul. You win the ball, that's it. Vasquez's yellow card, he's been on the field for like 3 minutes. Goes after the ball, the guy throws himself to the ground and gets himself a yellow. It wasn't even a dangerous run. The guy was practically going out of bounds, and he gets a yellow for that. And then on top of that, he goes in to win the ball, puts his foot up to win it. Guy comes in to head it, pulls away from it because he sees the guy coming. The guy throws his arms up in the air, falls down. The ref was prepared to throw him off the field for that. But I think the AR called him off of it and said, no, that wasn't no, there was nothing there. And so just to save himself, he's like, oh no, wait, never mind, we'll go high kick. Yeah, that's what I meant to call high kick. That's yeah. So just an idiot there. On top of that, even some of the simple challenges. One of the first things I noticed in the game, Kratz goes in to win the ball, steps in. It was one of those where he kind of catches the guy on his follow through. So the guy swing to pass it. He gets the ball away. Kratz comes in after the fact, but it's only like maybe a second. The rest like in his face, like telling him off. And it's his first foul of the game, and he's treating it like it's a terrible foul just because the guy's like rolling around like, come on. And then not even probably like 5 minutes later. I don't know exactly how long it was, but I'm assuming it's about 5 minutes later. Assad's about to break into the box. And the guy clings out his heels from behind. It's one of those where he runs behind him and clips his heel as he's about to go into the box. No card, no talking to, just it's a foul. That's it. That's all it was. If you're gonna talk to him about that foul, which wasn't even really that bad, you got to say something to him about that yellow card offense. But nothing. On top of that, the AR on our attacking side in the first half calls two very questionable offsides calls. The first one, Villalba was in and may or may not have been offsides. It was hard to tell from the angle that they gave us. It was kind of blurry as well, so you couldn't really tell whether or not his foot was in front of him. But he was in, and he calls a offsides. Assad in the box breaks him behind. The defender cleans him out, and the referee blows his whistle, calls offside. They never showed us a good replay to show us whether or not he was offside, but he did not look offsides to me. And it's going to be a penalty. Oh, it's offsides. And second half, the same AR that called both of those questionable offsides, no offsides in the second half at all. That's kind of ridiculous. Just think about that. No offsides called, and they were pressuring us pretty high as well. It was not like, oh, they never saw our side of the field, that's why there were no offsides. No, there were a couple I'm like, that could have been offsides, and nothing. No call. So, one-sided there. There's a handball on Kratz where it didn't touch his hand, and then later on in the game, the handball inside the box. Couldn't really see how far out his arm was, but Martinez tries to chip the ball in, and it hits the guy on his arm. Like I said, couldn't really tell how far out it was, but if you're going to call one right outside our box where it doesn't even touch his hand, we deserve a penalty. So all of that, and then to finish it all off, icing on the cake, so many stoppages second half. From D.C. United wasting time. There was the can challenge where he gets knocked in the chin and he's down for probably a couple minutes. all of this stuff going on, 3 minutes of stoppage time. That's the average. 3 minutes is an average stoppage time. That's if like the game is being played normally. There was a ton of time wasting going on. There was a ton of there were a couple stoppages for injuries in the second half, and you give us 3 minutes. All right, you know what? Fine, we'll deal with it. Then you get into stoppage time. Two free kicks back to back that we have outside their box. Both of them lasted about 30 seconds too long. It was like you're only really supposed to add it on after there's time being wasted. So like the first 6 or 7 seconds, you don't count that, but you count the time after that. If it's still not being taken, you're supposed to count that time. Easily 30 seconds on both of those free kicks. The first one, the defender's standing right in front of the ball for a good 20 to 30 seconds before the ref finally tells him to move. Second one, the ref's taking forever to just spray and spray. He's like, spray, walks over, spray. You're wasting our time, and then on top of that, Martinez takes a shot. It's been 45 seconds after the original planned 3 minutes. Calls it right there. We get a corner off of that free kick. Calls it right there. No corner for us. Just it's done. 45 seconds after, even though there's a good at least minute of time wasted. Whatever. Home team always gets the advantage with the referees. I think that's stupid. I think the people in charge of this league should look at that and say, you know what, that's not right, and do something about it. But whatever. We can't do anything about it. I just want to complain about it because, frankly, it feels kind of good to release the aggression. So on to our team. First of all, let's talk about Martino because I think he got a couple things wrong tonight. First of all, Mears in defense. I don't think he's going to make a whole lot of changes with his defense. I don't expect him to because it's been the same back four for most of the season. However, Mears has been dropping off in performances recently. They have not been as good as his performances at the beginning of the year. And I did think he was going to be a very solid defender at the beginning of the year. I thought he had some really good games. Recently, though, what has he done? Defensively, he's looked a bit shaky. One-on-one situations, he's not been very good at. The crosses in at the beginning of the season were great. Now, most of them are either too far or they're to one of our defenders. How many of our short corners have gone to Mears and he gives it away for a goal? And on top of that, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to be sniffling a lot through most of this, so just bear with me. On top of all of this, he played 90 minutes on Saturday. You're going to play him the full 90 minutes again on Wednesday? No. No. His age showed so many times tonight. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So, yeah, bad decision there. Good decision to play Kratz with Carmona being out for the suspension. I like Kratz. I think he's a very, very hard-working player. He's not the spectacular player that, he's going to change the game for us. But he works hard, and he puts in a lot of really good challenges. So I think that was a good decision. But then you don't play Martinez. Even though he didn't play, got subbed in the Saturday match, you don't start him this game. Why? He has proven time and again that if you put him on the field and the other team is going for it, he'll do great. When you put him on the field and the other team is not going for it, like whenever Chicago's up 2-0 or whenever DC's up 2-1, I guarantee you he's not going to do much because they know just stay back. He's not going to make it through a team of 11. He can make it through a team of 2 or 3 whenever they're pushing to try to get a goal. That's when he shines. That's when he does his best. But when the other team's sitting back because they've already gone ahead, what's the point of putting him in? He should have started, or he should have gone in whenever it was still tied. But no, we wait. They go up a goal. Now he's not going to do much. He still tried to create a couple things, but the fact of the matter is, he hasn't done well whenever we've been down. Whenever the other team is sitting back, not trying to get another goal because they're already ahead, he hasn't really done much in those games. It's the games where the other team is pushing, trying to get a goal because they're desperate for one. He hits them so hard on the break that they honestly, there are some teams that I think probably would just be better off to just say, all right, let's not let this get out of hand. But I don't know. For some reason, Martino decided, hey, let's keep Mears in. Hey, let's keep the same exact team, obviously minus Carmona from Saturday. I get that we won and we put in a pretty good performance against Columbus, but it's this completely different game on the road. No, hardly any road teams have been winning recently. You have to put in your best team. You have to put in a team that's going to perform well. Tonight, he didn't do it. Kept on two players that I think didn't deserve to be on, and Mears and probably Gressel, and it hurt us. So let's talk about individual performances because it's not just Martino's decisions. It was also a couple of really bad performances tonight individually. First of all, Alec in goal, proving once again why Guzan's going to come in and just take over the spot because that first goal, that's unacceptable. I mean, you are a professional. You are paid to play professional soccer. That first goal that's unacceptable. I can't think of any other word that describes it. I mean, you do not let that happen. You do not just give away a goal. I mean, my God. That's ridiculous. And, part of it is we do play very dangerously in the back because we want to play possession based. But as a keeper, you should know, all right, things are getting really dangerous. Let's just get it out. Let's just get it out. Instead, he kind of slides, kind of kicks at it, and kicks it right to a striker. And on top of that, the striker hits it near post. Guess what? He gets beat near post. On top of that, the second goal, once again, not moving his feet. It was a great volley, but you got to move your feet to get there. I mean, the other team's keeper did it whenever Martinez had his shot. Actually, there were two shots. Both of Martinez's shot and then there was a shot in the first half, I think, from Garza. Both of them deflected. He had to move to get there. He did it both times. Why can't Alec Can do it? 1 second. All right. I'm trying to avoid coughing because I know it sounds really loud on this camera. So, Can, terrible. Mears, like I said, terrible. That second goal stands 3 yards away from all right, are you gonna volley it? Are you gonna volley it? You're gonna volley it? All right, set it up. Set it up. All right, I'll kind of try to block it. We learned in high school, that you step on his touch. He chested it up in the air, and you just stood there and watched as he set himself up for the perfect volley for at least 2-3 seconds while it was floating in the air coming down. You get in there. You put your body in the way. So you either get the ball away or you force him to take a touch, which then you can get the ball away. But he just stood there and watched. On top of that, got megged 3 or 4 times because he's just slow to get there and then leaves himself wide open. His crosses were terrible. I can think of one good one that he sent in, but even then nobody was really there for it. So he's just completely useless tonight. And I think we have better options, especially considering he's 34. He's kind of up there in age. I think we've got better options than him. So really disappointed overall from him. Parkhurst, okay. He still lacks that leadership quality that I want in a center defender, but he does read the game pretty well as far as his own decisions. That one where they send it across and there's just 2-on-1 pretty much. There's one guy with the ball here, one guy without the ball here. Here's Parkhurst, here's the goal. He put himself in a position where it's either you take the shot right at my keeper or you're going to have to try to play a inch-perfect pass to your guy across the box. Put himself in a great position for it. Guy tried to lay it across. He's there. Knocks it out for a corner. So, just overall, I think he does read the game very well. I just wish, like I've said several times, I wish he was a better leader back there. Because that's what you really want from your captain / main central defender. Perez, though, really starting to show a lot of his naivete. Just those moments of stupid decisions where you're flying into a challenge you shouldn't, or you're getting beat, or the pass just isn't coming off. I don't know. He's really started to fade off in the past few games. He looked very solid earlier on in the season. He looked like he was going to be a great defender for us. Now it's just kind of performances. He wasn't terrible tonight. He wasn't Mears, but it was still not as effective as I've seen him, in the past. Even last game, his tackle that set up Almiron's goal, great. That's the type of stuff he's capable of. But overall, it's just these moments where I'm just Perez, what are you doing? Why are you sliding in for that? Why are you trying to challenge that guy? whenever you've got help? Why are you being pulled out of position whenever there's another guy behind you that needs to be marked? So, all in all, I don't know. I've been disappointed with him a little bit over the past few games. Even though he has had a couple great moments, I just think he's starting to fade off a bit as the season progresses, and you don't want to see that, especially from a defender that is younger. You want to see him growing from his mistakes, but it seems like he's just making similar mistakes. Um, and then Garza on the left, I don't know, kind of quiet from him. First half, I think he was a bit more effective than he was in the second. I don't know why that is, um, but it felt like defensively he didn't have a whole lot to do because they were mainly attacking down our right side. Uh, but attacking wise, he didn't really bring anything special to it either. So I don't know. It's just kind of a non-performance from him tonight. Just very average overall. Kratz in the middle with Laurentowicz. I really like Kratz tonight. I think he put on a very good performance. I think he really put in some good challenges. He's very hardworking. He's all over the place. He's not the most talented. He's not the greatest player you'll ever see, but he works hard and he makes up for a lot of that. I guess that lack of talent and that lack of speed that he has. He makes up for it with how hard he works just to win the ball back. It doesn't matter what type of player you are. He's going to be in your face. He's going to be trying to win that ball from you. So I just really think he consistently works hard, and I love the fact that he's the first one we're going to. With Carmona out, he's the first one we turn to because he's earned it, in my opinion. I said in that last review, he has earned this. So I hope maybe he can start to add a little bit more into his game. I know he's 30, so he is kind of up there in age, but I would like to see what else he's got in his locker aside from just that hard work that we've seen. If he can grow a little bit more. Laurentowicz, another performer that I think did well tonight. Not great, but I think he just really good hard worker as well. Puts in a lot of good challenges. Maybe once again, like I said in the Columbus review, I thought the first half he had pulled up too much. To where normally we have him dropping in with the other two defenders, and it's the three of them back there. He didn't do that as much tonight again, and I think a couple times that did hurt us. And the main thing that I've noticed is whenever he doesn't do that, it's like our defense has no more options. And you don't want to see that, obviously. You don't want to see your defense out of options. You don't want to see them unsure of what to do. There were several times where that happened. I think a lot of that is just because he's getting pulled out too far instead of dropping back and helping them. So I don't know if that's by design. I don't know if he's doing that on his own, like, oh yeah, I just want to get up in the attack. But whatever the case, I think we need to go back to just that simple system of he drops in, helps out there. I think it's very effective. I don't know why we don't do it more often, but whatever the case, the three in behind the striker, Assad, Almiron, Gressel. Assad, he did okay, but he wasn't very effective in the attacking third. There are several moments in the midfield third where I'm just like, that's a good move. He got out of pressure. Good passes. Great. But when you get into the attacking third, it's like he just runs out of ideas. When he's on a run, whenever he's got two or three options around him, he's great. He finds a good pass. He does well under pressure. He gets out of those tight spaces. But then you put him in the box, and it's like sometimes he doesn't know what to do. At times he does make a great pass, but for the most part, it just feels like he doesn't know what to do with it. And the same can be said of Villalba. I don't like to jump around a little bit, but the truth is, with both of them tonight, I had kind of the same reaction. Villalba was a bit more, I felt like he was selfish. There were too many times where he's taking on a shot when he should be laying it off. But it feels like they just sort of lack ideas, where you watch Almiron, he has several ideas. He has, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, I've got this if I need it. He has so many ideas going around, and he tries them, and sometimes they come off, sometimes they don't. But for the most part, he has an idea of what he wants to do. Assad and Villalba, it's like they got one idea in their head, and if it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off, and it looks terrible. So for both of them, I would say same thing. Just that they need to have more ideas. They need to see more than one option, because if that one option isn't there and they still try to force it, it looks terrible. But if they see, all right, so the shot's not on, maybe I can lay it off, we might get a goal from it. And then Gressel, aside from the goal, didn't do a whole lot tonight. Lost the ball a couple times, a couple bad passes, one really bad cross. I don't know, he just once again, I don't really know if he is worth it. Like I don't see enough from him overall to say, yeah, he deserves to be out there week in, week out. I just see these couple moments in every game where it's like, oh yeah, that was a good pass that led to an assist. Oh yeah, that was a good, being in the right spot at the right time to get the goal. But overall, he's not as effective a player as I think other players are. And so I always get a little bit disappointed to see that he's starting just because I don't feel like he really provides much for us, especially away from home. Away from home, it feels like he's hardly ever involved. I was really surprised when he scored tonight. Because honestly, I hardly ever think about these games and just think, oh yeah, Gressel's going to be huge tonight. He does well at home, but away, it feels like he's not really a factor. And then finally, the subs that came on. Martinez comes on, like I said, too late. I don't think he's a forward that's going to thrive under the entire other team is back defending, parking the bus on us. I don't think he's able to handle that as well as a team that's willing to step out a little bit and try to attack us. So I just think that was mainly Martino's fault for putting him on too late. And then McCann came on for Laurentowicz. I do understand because Laurentowicz was on a yellow and he had just put in kind of a dangerous challenge. Um, but at the same time, I mean, Laurentowicz is kind of a very good defensive player, and we were struggling a bit on defense. So luckily we didn't give away a third, but McCann doesn't really bring a whole lot defensively. Uh, Honestly, he didn't really bring a whole lot offensively either, but I don't know. He hasn't really proved himself for me. I think he is capable of something, but like I said in the past, I don't think he's really shown what type of player he is. He's just kind of a midfielder in there. What type of midfielder? I don't know. But he is a midfielder. He's just in there working around. So I still think, like I've said 2 or 3 times now, I still think he needs to identify himself as, all right, am I a distributor? Am I a defensive midfielder? Am I a drop deep and send it long? What is he? He needs to figure out what his thing is, his niche, and do that extremely well. Because right now he's just kind of average at a little bit of everything. And then finally, Vasquez comes on about the same time as McCann did for Villalba. And at the time, I thought, good change because, yeah, he was, like I said, very selfish tonight. But I was a little bit concerned just because last time I saw Vasquez was the Charleston game and not good. But he did do a couple of good things tonight, just to show that that game was probably just a little bit of a blip. He can do certain things well. But he still does lack a little bit of something. I don't know if it's flair or if it's speed or what it is, but I still don't look to him and say, yes, he's the one we need to bring in to change the game. So I think he needs to grow a little bit more in his knowledge of the game and just what to do in certain situations because he's also young and you can see that the naivete of him as well. So, but all in all, it's just it's hard to say that it was a terrible game because we did get a goal and it was a nice goal. It was very well worked, and we did create a lot of really good chances. The keeper had to make some great saves, but overall, I mean, you look at it and both of their goals were not their goals. It was mistakes on our end. It was mistakes from our defense. It was mistakes from our keeper, leading to their goals, leading to most of their chances. I can't think of one moment where they started from their defense and they passed it around and they moved it around and then they created a chance from it. I can't think of any times like that. All of their chances came from we pushed everybody up and we get counterattacked on, or our defense is possessing in the back and then we give it away and give them a chance. That's pretty much what most of their attacks came from. So I don't know if he needs to get better defenders back there or if we just need to work better as a team, but we can't keep losing away from home. I realize that not a lot of away teams win, but we need to start picking up some wins on the road, or else we're not really going to be playing for much other than just playoffs. And I don't want that. I don't want that for our team, even though it is just our first our first season in the league. I think we've got the quality to challenge and really be up there in the standings. Be up there in our conference, be up there in the overall standings. But we're not. We're just kind of like, oh, it's away from home, a little bit of a lackadaisical performance, some mistakes here and there lead to a couple goals that we just give away. And then at home, we turn it on, we show what we're capable of. I'm like, why can't we do that away? Obviously it is a different stadium. Obviously the atmosphere is not the same as when we're at home, but we still have the same talent, so why can't we turn it on? You know, the chances tonight, the defensive errors tonight, why do these happen away from home? Why can't these players do it constantly? So I think that's something, especially with a manager like Martino, I think we need to start looking at, all right, we need to make some changes away from home. We need to make sure that we're picking up a couple points. We're picking up some wins away from home because that's what we need right now. We need to start getting momentum not just at home but away from home as well. So those are my thoughts on this game. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I'm really sorry about how I sound and stuff. I think I did manage to get through this without coughing though, so hopefully that equals bonus points. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Who was your man of the match, or worst man of the match, I guess? What do you expect to see changed at the Saturday game? Speaking of the Saturday game, I may not be able to get the review out soon after the game. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to watch it live because I'll be heading out of town that day. So I'm going to try to watch it and I'll try to review it whenever I get to my destination. But yeah, it's kind of iffy at the moment. But I'll try my best to watch it and get the review out. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a like and subscribe. Future Later United reviews. Okay, see you guys at the next game. Hopefully